Countdown. Peace, peace.
Peace, my brother.
All right, so give me 1 second. Trying to
Get your notes.
All right, so nah, I don't have no notes. I'm gonna share something. Listen, I
You
got
know I'm gonna
everything
mess
on
with you,
chat.
man. I mean, hold on.
Yeah,
Before we start, man.
yeah, I got everything on cap, man. I tell you,
I
listen. I don't know
hold
if you
on.
know
Let
who
me
you.
say before we start, cause this your floor. Let me just say before we start.
All right, go
I
ahead.
like you, man. I respect you. I done met you in person. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
likewise,
um,
likewise.
we both can share some of the same struggles with the system,
But
right?
we have different
We
upbringing.
both hold on. Let me say we both been in the system, right? So
Yeah.
both of us being in the system and have the same struggles of the system, as we stand right now, now we both got different views of how we see things. But we
Okay.
both been to the same places, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Both of
yeah.
us
I
been to the
agree.
penitentiary. Both of us done
Yeah,
did that. Both of us out here. Both of us done sold homes. We've been learning, real knowledge to help our family. You feel what I'm saying? So we both got some of the same track record. You are somewhat my elder. You feel me? And
I
I'm
am.
just
I'm
in
older than you. Yeah,
right.
yeah,
I'm just in the younger generation with it.
yeah. So,
But
so,
yeah,
so.
take the floor, brother. Take the
All
floor.
right. So, with this whole Charlie Kirk thing, right? Which, mind you, I didn't know who this dude was. I never heard of him. When he got killed, I didn't know who he was. Now I'm
I'm
gonna tell you
glad.
why.
That's
I'm
that's a
now I'll tell
powerful
you
point.
why. Now I'm gonna tell you why. Because I'm older, I don't follow anyone. I don't listen to rhetoric, right? If it's not building, it's destroying, right? So
Correct.
you can either build or you can destroy. So whenever
Correct.
something is destroying, which what his rhetoric I felt destroyed, it destroyed black people's image of themselves, right? And the reason I say, and this came from me researching after the fact, right? After he died, I'm like, what this dude? Why everybody talking about this dude? I go look at some of his speeches. I've looked at quite a few, right? Not even speeches, just him in general talking before cameras, and they posting it to social media. But I'm listening to what he's saying, and everything he says is inflammatory, right? And the majority of it, what he says, is not true, or is based on his perception.
Okay,
Everybody's
now let me tap in. Let me tap in. I want
okay.
to cook with you. I want to cook
All
with you.
right, go ahead.
Okay. So first, you stated that like you haven't followed the guy, and
No,
now
no,
you just
prior to his death, prior to
prior
his
to his
death.
death, you didn't know who he was, right? But when he
Nope.
died, you start to look up and see who he was. Correct?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm on a different side of that. I knew who he was before he died, right? And I knew some
Okay.
of his rhetoric before he died, right? So first I'm gonna start by this right here and say this. Most of the rhetoric that they're gonna show, right, which is gonna like come on news, come on social media feeds and algorithms and things like that, because it's all an
Uh-huh.
algorithm, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna show the more um differential points and toxic points. That's what I believe, right? But he's got a lot more stuff or content that we can both agree you haven't seen yet,
Oh,
right?
absolutely haven't. Yeah,
All
yeah.
right,
So,
all
so
right. So
yeah,
so
you're
let me
right.
hold on. Let me finish
You're
cook. I'm,
right.
I'm gonna say
Yeah,
this and then I'm gonna throw it back to you, right?
yeah.
Okay. So what you said about how he speaks about black people, right? Because that's really
Uh-huh.
what this is about. All
Yeah.
right. What I believe, what he speaks about black people is a lot of what's the word, I had it in my head. It's a lot of hurtful truth, right? And I think that black people, instead of accepting the truth and hurtful truth, right, that they take it as an emotional thing and thinking somebody's attacking them. And I'm just gonna make one point. I'm gonna throw this back to you. Like when he said that he gave a fact, right? Before the 1960s, the black household was 70% with the man involved, right? Fast forward to 2005, it's less than 10%. It's really more like 5%
It's
as a
25%. It's
we
25%.
gonna we can pull up those stats after
I'll
and see
pull it up
exactly
right
what it
now.
is.
Hey, hey,
Okay.
hey, hey, chat. Hey,
Okay,
Google.
okay. So
Hey,
so
Google.
let's take the percentage out of it. Let's just say it's
All right.
less than.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
as powerful. It's less than, right?
Okay.
So the main thing, what I take out of that, what I believe in that, right, is that black fathers, if they're not there to lead the household and their children, then their children astray with these crazy beliefs of the world, which I did that because I speak from experience, right? I believe if my dad was in my life, which this nigga don't know my birthday, none of that. He's never really been in my life. I don't really fault him for that because he got a hook to drugs. He's a crack. He
Okay.
smoked. You feel what I'm saying? To this
Yeah.
day. But
Yeah.
I believe and I know in my heart, if he was on a straight and narrow path to put me in a positive mind frame, right, to guide me, I wouldn't be a full-time felon sitting right here.
Okay.
That's what I believe, and that's some of the hard truth that he says to black people, and they don't know how to really take it. And I think it's triggering to some people because maybe they might not be a father and holding up to what he's saying, so he's making them accountable for it. So I believe in some of the things that he's making people accountable for, even though it's hard truth. Our people can't accept it as being a hard truth and say, "Damn, you know what? He right. I need to be a better father. We need better father households coming up. You know what I'm saying? Because
Uh-huh.
that's going to change everything. Like the information that you giving your kids right now, far as real estate and investing and things like that. If we had this uh, knowledge and rhetoric from a father coming up, then we would be on a whole different path. You feel? We wouldn't be fighting to get ours now. You feel me? It could have just it basically would have fell in our laps type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I believe from some of the hard points and the hard truth that he says that it really makes black people feel emotional. Like, hey, you talking about me? You talking about me? Because me as a black man, I'm gonna tell them and say it. They might not feel as as emotional about it coming from me as a black man, but I guess it's him coming from a white man telling him, hey, nigga, you need to be a daddy. First and foremost, you need to stop going to the club, stop buying Jordans, get your knowledge up, and learn how to invest and teach your kids this shit.
Okay. All right. So my go now, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to acknowledge that you made some very good points. You know, you made some good points, right? And like I'm going to touch on what you said, right? We are two men having a discussion and a debate because we have different perspectives on a topic. That's just for anybody watching, anybody listening. Man, it happens, right? At the end of the day, we still two men, right? We're gonna
Yeah.
walk away from this the same way we walked into it, right?
Of
So
course.
yeah, so I agree with a lot of what you said. You ain't make so now let me unpack what I have take exception to. Right.
Okay.
So when you said that he sometimes makes uncomfortable truth statements, right?
Yes.
So that's the first thing I want to touch on, right? Because his statements aren't uncomfortable truths, right? If you accept it as a truth, it's a truth. That's not true to me, right?
So
Because
hold on, Paul. So that is not true to you that
yeah.
we need more black fathers in the household.
Oh, we absolutely do.
So
So
you
so let,
do accept that.
yeah. So let me rephrase that. No, you're right. We do, without a
Okay.
doubt. But
Okay.
coming from a white male, when I know that white, no, yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yes, that's the
Oh,
only
oh,
difference, bro.
look,
That's the
hey,
only
Steve,
difference. If
Steve,
we take
Steve,
out, if
Steve,
we don't,
Steve,
look- we
Steve.
look at him like a person, right, and not a white guy,
You
right,
can't,
then we can accept it better.
you can't. All right, so let me
You
cook. Let me
can.
cook. Let me cook. I'll let you cook. Let me cook. Let me cook. All right. So look, coming from a white man, right? From a white man, this is exactly the point. See, some of our people tend to try to say, well, I don't see color. I don't see color. Like a friend of mine just went live a little while ago, Richard Taylor. I got to shout out Richard Taylor for making an outstanding live video. Go check out Richard Taylor. Go check out what he just spoke on. And he talks about the race thing because a lot of black people get uncomfortable when we bring up the race thing, right? But everything in the United States is based on race. And I'm going to use exactly what Richard just used to make this point. When you fill
Okay.
out a job application, there's a question of race on there. When you go to school, there's a question of race on there. When you anything you do, medical forms, What race are you? What nationality, right? They want to know every single element in the United States is dealing with race. So you can't say I don't see race when everyone else does. So
Okay, let
it's
me
for
ask you
some
this
reason.
question. Let me ask you this.
No, you gotta let
Hold
me
on,
cook.
just in the middle of it, because you brought
You
that up. You
can't.
brought that up.
I
That's
didn't.
a
I
that's a
didn't. I didn't get in the middle of yours. In a debate, is my go and then your go, right?
I'm
So
with you.
I'm cooking right now, right? So when they see race, it's okay. But when we our people, the first ones to say they don't see race, you ain't gonna never see no white people talking about they don't see race. It's always race. It's always race. So when he says something as a 20 something year old white male, I'm like, okay, first of all, where is he getting it? Because most of them are regurgitating what they've heard from someone else, right? So with me, I don't accept anything on face value. I'm going to do the math. I'm going to go find out, how did it become that way? So first of all, if I stated that we had over 70% of black men were in the family before Reconstruction, right? What happened? So with me, I'm not a superficial thinker. I don't think about the surface. I don't just look at what I see. I want to look below the surface. So if you look below the surface, sometimes you'll get different answers. And the
okay.
reason I feel like we're getting different answers is because you're looking at the fact that, okay, he right. There aren't enough black men in the family. Mine wasn't there either, right? So yeah, he
I'm
made a
on
good
live
point.
having a debate.
But how
Having
you doing,
go ahead.
man?
It's my mama.
How you doing? Yeah. So you're absolutely right, and he's right. He wasn't lying, but what he's failing to recognize is whose fault that it's like that, right? And it's their fault. White males are the reason, right? Because they created the welfare system. I don't know if you know about Janet Singer and what was that the when they was trying to have less baby. I forgot the name of her organization, but I've read extensively. Now, me and you, we were both in the same place, but that doesn't mean we were around the same people and doing the same thing. I was around people who were constantly growing. I was around with the organizations in there. I wasn't in no gangs or none of that stuff. I was around the gods. I was around the 5%ers, the Moor Science Temple, the Rastafarians, the Nation of Islam. Right? These are all individuals who all we do is read. We're concerned about growth, mental growth, and that's about it. Right? So I learned the whole time. So I wanted to read why things were like that. We see what they are. Yeah, we see what the situation is. We need to see what the state of our community is, but why is it like that? So it's
Now you
hard to
gotta
have
let me
this.
patch in, brother. You
All right,
told me why you
yeah,
think it's
okay,
like that.
okay. Go ahead, patch in. Go ahead.
Okay. First, I'm gonna jump back to where you started. Right. I'm
Okay,
glad I stopped smoking weed because I'm able to do what I do now. Because weed makes your mind foggy. You feel me? So let's go back to where you started about the job applications and putting race on there. Right.
okay.
Which you can look at it two ways, right? And we don't know the exact reason why. We can't jump to conclusions because we don't know who did it, and we can't knock on his door and say, "Why are you doing this?" Right?
No, we
We
absolutely
can't do
do
that.
know
Hold
who
on, but
does.
let me
We
finish.
do. We
We
do know.
don't. We don't. We
We do
don't. We
know.
don't.
We do
How
know.
can we? If we do, we go to this door right now.
You just asked me a question. How can we?
Okay.
Who had the jobs? Who were the employers? So that's the answer to your
Hold on.
question
Hold on.
right
Hold on. Hold on.
there.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. They didn't make the system.
They did make the
No,
system.
say for a company like Gildan down here.
So
All
who
right.
made it?
The system was created by John Rockefeller. We both know that.
Exactly. Okay.
Okay. So let me finish. Let me finish cooking. All right. It's two ways that you can look at it. I believe.
Okay.
Right. Okay. How would they know how many black people hold jobs if they don't ask you when you start to check this question to say that you're black or you're white or you're Hispanic? So it could be both ways. It could be a statistical thing where you can get facts from. Yes, it's 10% of black people just say work in the medical field, 25% in the trucking field. And the only reason they know that is because when the job application came on, they clicked and they let us know that they're a black person.
All
Right.
right.
So, but
So
it
do you
could go,
think
it could, and now don't get me wrong, it could be have a negative effect on it. right? It could have a negative effect on it. And I'm not the person that's going to sit right here and say that it could not have a negative effect on it. But I'm just here, like we having a debate, to open
Yeah.
up a different side of why it could be this way.
Okay.
So
Okay. All
we'll
right.
never know, right? We'll never know how many black people are hired through the DEI program, correct? If they don't say, click the button and say, hey, I'm a black person and I'm here.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the debate on that.
Okay.
Which it could go both ways. It could be a statistical thing, right? Or it could affect black people in a negative way to say, "Hey, you black, and I don't want you here." That can be it too,
Do
right?
you think that has happened?
Of course.
Okay. All right. All right.
Okay. So
Okay.
so
All
so
right.
so now,
Okay.
now let's fast forward to the end of your topic, and I'm gonna throw it back to you. You said prior 1960s we were looking good. After the Reconstruction, things started to fall apart, and the question is why,
Welfare system.
right? Right. So I believe this is what I believe, right? And it's actually definitely the white man's control of it, right? But are we going to play along with his program or not? We have the ultimate say so. We're the consumer of the product. Yes, you selling this, but I don't have to buy it. So what I believe is what everything changed for me
Uh
is
huh.
the music. I believe it's the music. I
Ah, before
believe
the music. It was before the music. It was before that.
well, I'm gonna say this. It was before the music, but the music has enticed it. The music threw gasoline on a burning problem and made it
Yeah.
way, way worse, right?
Yeah.
To
I agree.
almost, to be honest with you, almost to where we had no turning back into debates like these are talked about, and you see the both sides, right? Because some
Yeah.
people, some of these YNs, that's what they are out here listening to this music, and they're not told to have one woman, get a wife, provide for your family. The music is not teaching us positive rhetoric, right?
You
And
right.
and I believe because of my generation, right? From where I come from, I was born in 1987. By the 1997, the music is full fledged, filling my head up with crazy shit, making me think that it's okay to do that, right?
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
and that's where my whole, as me growing into a man, right, and going through what I've been through, that's why my whole flip has changed. Because I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? The whole time, I can remember as a kid, right, when I walk up, my uncles and them would ask me, how many girlfriends you got? I'm like, damn. As a kid with an open mind, I'm like, damn. Do I have supposed to have more than one?
You
That's
right.
what was bred
You're
into
right.
me. You feel what
You're
I'm
right.
saying? That's what
You're
was
right.
bred into me. So
Yeah.
now I'm feeling like, hey, I'm supposed to have bitches, right? Now I'm listening to the rap music. They tell me I'm supposed to have bitches. But
Yeah.
now I'm a grown man and got, multiple baby mamas with multiple kids in multiple different situations, which is stressful in itself because I'm
Yeah.
going to try to be a responsible father no matter what, no matter how hard it gets. I take a
Yeah.
lot a lot of things that I want to do to put on the plate for them, right?
Yeah.
So as me maturing, like I'm in a state now that like, bruh, I don't have no bitches. You understand what I'm saying? I'm a single
Yeah.
man, and I'm
Yeah.
not. And when I'm out here, when I meet women, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
I can tell from the jump if they are on the same page as I am, far as we in a connection as one and moving forward. Most of them ain't like that because they have adapted to this culture and this
Yeah.
music. Black culture and our music is the number one influencing culture out there. You feel what I'm saying?
It
And that's
is.
why, to be honest with you, I listen to the music. Don't get me wrong, because it's my culture. I vibe to it. You know what I'm saying? But I have to cut that shit off and listen to country music because it puts me in a whole different vibe. You feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So for me, like in my generation, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a millennial. I come from no technology to technology in the middle of my life, and I'm full fledged technology to where I could see as a point that we didn't have it, right? And I was taught it.
Hmm.
So as me looking back and seeing on the world, I'm like, damn, if this one thing would happen, if they take fucking rap music out of the world,
No,
Do you understand
all
what I'm
right,
saying?
you're right. So look,
And
let me
I ain't trying to kill the rappers. They make a lot of money. They do
you
it, but
look
they influence us to do negative things.
now. Let me touch on that. Now we kind of got away, but you're right. You made a good point. You made a good point about the rap music. It's not rap music, it's the type of rap music. See, I was raised in a different era than you. So the rap music I was raised on was empowering, right? I listened to
Yes.
Public Enemy, I listened to Brand Nubian, you know what I'm saying? Like all these they was De La Soul, what is it? The Jungle Brothers and all. I listened to people, Tribe Called Quest. They educated you. KRS-One, they
KRS-One,
educated
they
you.
educated you.
It's different now.
It's
You know what I'm
different
saying?
now.
So
They
you're right.
they
But
they
look, I'm gonna play this video. I'm gonna play this real quick. I'm gonna share the screen. I want to play one thing this dude said. That way we're gonna get back on topic on him, right? Can you see that? Can you see that?
Yeah.
All right, hold up. Let me know.
Punch my boy in.
They're in every TV commercial. Now I'm going to take some time to share with some people some of my thoughts. These are the things that went racing through my mind when I found out that Charlie Kirk had met his demise.
Of course we pander to blacks. They're in every TV commercial. They get more privilege.
He said we pander to black people. You know, there are people that actually believe that.
Influential culture.
America panders to black people. We're the last picked and first fired. The level of discrimination that black people are facing in this country is bar none the platinum edition. And this guy says, America panders to black people. Look what we do for them. We gave them affirmative action without even for a second admitting that the primary beneficiary of affirmative action were white women. And who do white women marry? White guys. So the white family were the primary beneficiaries of affirmative action. It's just facts.
Privileges to come into society. They come into every college on preferential with lower test scores. You can't ever say anything negative. You can lose your job.
He said you can't ever say anything negative to black people. He means call them ninjas. That's what he means. That's what he means. He means call us an N-word. And for this, I'm getting all types of hate mail and people saying screw you and unsubscribing. For this guy who says, my people, no one can say anything bad about us?
Correct.
Really?
100%
I mean,
true.
it's okay to be a conservative, be what you want to be, but live in reality. There were entire industries on shitting on black people. There was an entire movie scene that the whole thing was about exploiting black people. It was called black exploitation films. There's no Asian exploitation films. There's no white guy exploitation films. There's black people exploitation films. And this guy sits in front of these people and puts this out. See what I'm saying? And I think what it is since white Americans do not have a history we do, they just see it as an opinion. Before we go any further.
All right, okay. I didn't know that was his show I was showing. I thought it was just a video
Let's
on
cook,
a
Carlos,
dude.
on what he said. Let's cook.
All right, let's cook. So what he just said was that America panders to black people, meaning we get it easy. I don't know if you understood what he said. Basically, America makes it easy on us. Then he says that you can't say anything negative to them. You can't say anything negative to anybody. If I just went up to somebody and said something negative, you think they're going to appreciate it? Like, so when he made that statement, what point was he making? You feel what I'm saying? Like a lot of the stuff he said, and then you got his fans, they're sitting there like, yeah. They just, because they're, you know, I don't like to use the word dick riding, right? But they're gophers. They go for anything. So anybody can tell you something and you believe it, right? So that's how I see his constituents. That's how I see the people following him, right? And it's really hard for me to understand where his support comes from until I see where his support comes from. Millennials think differently. Millennials think differently. That's all it is to it, right? And it's because of their lack of knowledge, right? I think
No,
I forgot which
it's because of
yes,
their.
people
It's hold
perish
on, hold on, hold on.
for their lack of
Let-
knowledge.
okay, so let me ask you this right here. Then you said millennials think different because of their lack of knowledge, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to say millennials think different because of their access of knowledge. And I'm
They
explaining
don't.
you what. Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish because I'm gonna throw it right back to you. But I say that because of this, right? For like, say, someone in their 60s, right? The only knowledge that they had coming up was the knowledge in their community. They couldn't learn no further than what somebody tells them in their community. Fast forward now to millennials, we can learn anything because we know how to work and have access to technology, and we use it to learn. So we have way more access. We got way more knowledge in our head than any other generation coming up in the world. Period. Because
No.
these people before us didn't have the access to information. That's why they don't know anything. They didn't even have the access. I can go on my phone right now, right? Anything that I want to figure out, I can ask Chat GPT and I can figure it out. I done did it so many times. I done went to court. I done got list pendants of a property, all different type of things because of the access to information that people prior to me didn't have. And the people still prior to me now that they do have it, they don't know how to utilize it. That's why I say that we are the smartest, right? Because we know how to go on this, use this technology to figure out the right answer. Most people don't know how to do that. They don't know how to use this technology to figure out the right answer.
I listen. The same technology you have access to and use is the same technology I have access to and use in my business. So being that,
Right.
that we both have hold up, we both have access to the same knowledge. I'm 51, you 37, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
no way on any planet that I'm gonna say that any like millennials to me, I see them as almost like aliens, right? In the way their thought
We are.
process is different, right?
We are.
Their process
Yes.
is different. And
Yes.
what they do lack is communication skills. So they don't talk a lot, right? They everything with them is on the computer. You it's the world is not happening because you're on the screen, right? So because of that, you're gravitating to dudes like Charlie Kirk. What's his name? Charlie Kirk,
Charlie
because
Kirk.
he's on your screen. And you spoke
Right.
about the algorithm. Why do you think the algorithm is putting him in front of y'all?
I know why it's putting them in front of me,
Why?
right?
Why?
Because that's what I seek for, right?
Exactly.
So okay, let me explain this to you. Let me say this too.
Okay.
So like, if me and you were to get beside each other, right, and we both
Yeah.
click on TikTok, and we start scrolling, right? Your algorithm is going to be different from mine. And I can just only tell you about I can tell you about mine, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be way more black people and supporting Charlie Kirk than even white people on my algorithm, right?
Yeah.
Because those are the type of things that I when I get on TikTok, the knowledge that I'm looking for, right? The truth that I'm looking for. So basically what I'm saying in this debate on my behalf, which I respect your point, is that us being millennials, right? You can say that, like we're more non-communicative because of the computer screen, which that could be a fact or an opinion. We don't know. But let's just keep that out there, right? So why am I going to go communicate, right, with somebody that doesn't know anything and figure out the truth right then?
I don't know. You the one said you was following
Why would I
Charlie.
waste my time in doing that?
You the one that was watching Charlie. What's his name?
And I'm
I
going
had
to
never
tell you.
seen him.
So it's bigger than Charlie, but Charlie has something to do with this. So what I'm saying is, this is what I tell people, and this is what I believe. Chat GPT and AI and things like that I utilize always makes me the smartest man in the room because I can go figure it out immediately. If I'm talking to somebody that don't use these sources to figure out instant information and the most about the information. Because if you ask ChatGPT a question about real estate, right? If I just talk to you, not downing you, you're going to give me a brief description of what you think about real estate, right? ChatGPT is going to give me a more detailed description what he thinks about real estate, and it ain't going to be just from his mind. It's going to be from millions of humans' minds that have been into real estate and shared their experience. So that's why I say that us millennials utilize this technology to be smarter than other people, because I can get the
y'all not the only ones using it. Y'all not the only ones using it, homie.
No.
I've been up on ChatGPT.
I'm not saying that we the only one using it. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that we use it more excessively than our elders.
No, not this one. Not this elder. Not this. Like, I don't know who you around, but I'm around businessmen, and they all use it. I know elders who in the 70s and 80s right now taking chat GPT classes. Well, not chat GPT classes, understanding AI. If you go on, I'm on Every.Black. If you go on to Every.Black, which is a site you probably wouldn't be familiar with because it's only black people on there, and it's all about black people in business, right? Building business and becoming entrepreneurship.
And that's racist. And that's
racist.
And that's racist.
It's not.
Okay. Pause. What if
define racist?
Hold on. Okay, let me ask you this question. What if white people, Mexicans, and Asians came up with a website and said whites only education, Chinese only education, Japanese only education? On the flip side, this is what our community decides to do. So what if their community started to do it? They would be racist for doing that.
Hold up, you want me to answer that question?
I want you to cook.
Do you want to answer that question? All right, first of all, it's not an education. It's a group. It's called Every.Black, where they advertise. It's where black people learn to become entrepreneurs and learn in business. We have a group, a group meeting every Sunday night. It's not anything racist about it, and we have other races on there. It's called Every.Black, just like you have gmail.com. We have a .black. The end of it is black, right? So no, it's not anything racist. But don't think that these organizations don't exist for other races where it's just them. They have those as well.
I'm not saying that they don't, right? But I am going to say this: they aren't going to make it public.
Ours ain't public.
When? Show me. I just told
you.
Let me ask my question first. Show me a white organization besides something like the KKK, which we already know exists. That's historical. I'm talking about modern day organization that says we're here to empower white people.
There are a bunch of them, but you think they're gonna give us the app? They're not gonna tell us the link. They're not gonna advertise to me. That doesn't mean it's not there.
That's exactly what I'm. That's my point. They're not going to say out in public, right? They're not going to say, even if they feel that way.
But Charlie Kirk did. You breaking up, man. I don't know if you
don't belong over here.
Now listen. Charlie Kirk empowered the white power base that you probably not really familiar with him, right? And I also said when I messaged you, right, that a lot of the difference of how we see things is how we were raised, right? Who we were around, right? You were raised in a more rural setting, right? So you had less exposure to your culture. You listen to country music, right? Like we don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't never listened to country music. No, hold up. No, I shouldn't.
Why wouldn't you?
I'm gonna tell you why. When I was with my uncle when I was 13 years old, riding with my uncle on the tractor trailer, we rode through Tennessee. We rode through Mississippi, Tennessee, all the deep south where they probably still hanging niggas at, especially in the 80s, right? So this is what I rode through, the real country, right? And we stopped at a restaurant and they had little jukeboxes at each booth. I didn't want to be there because it was all white people. My uncle wanted a T-bone steak. I'm like, I don't want to be in here, man. Like, I don't feel comfortable. Like, he was like, man, we just gonna eat and leave. My uncle was a tractor trailer driver like you, right? He drove for Beacons, so we was riding, doing moving in storage. We went in this I don't know what it was, like a restaurant / truck stop, somewhere down in Tennessee. And we sat there, and the people sat behind us, and they had, like I said, they all had their own jukebox. They played a song on their jukebox, a country. All the songs were country music, but they played one called "If the South Would Have Won." Have you ever heard of that? So really, okay. So you listen to that modern country. If you go listen to that country where they talked about that, go listen to the song called "If the South Would Have Won." I wanted to get out of there ASAP. Now you tell me, why would they make a song about if the South would have won? Because they wanted us to stay where we was at, in chains, in shackles.
Okay, let me ask you this.
That's why I don't like country music. I don't like nothing about country music, because the people who listen to that music represent the people who wish the South would have still been in power.
Okay, let me ask you this question then. We're getting a little off topic, but all topics are great. So, in that time, do you know what party sponsored that?
I don't care about. I'm not political. So look, I'm not political.
This is our life is political.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Because
no, it's not.
Politics. Listen, the politics reconstruct your life.
I'm not political, meaning government.
But it's important. It's important to know these things. Because whether you want to
no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
I'm explaining to you why I think. Okay, I understand why you say it's not, but I'm gonna tell you why I think it is. Right? I think it is political. Everybody should be political and learn this stuff, because that's what constructs our life. That's why if the speed limit is.
You breaking up. You breaking up again, man. You breaking up. You freezing. You must be going through like a bad spot. You freezing. Your screen is completely froze right now, homie. Look, we're gonna revisit this, man, because
give me a second to get out.
I don't know what you froze up. You froze up, Steve. Like, I ain't hear nothing you said. Your whole screen was froze. You froze again. Like,
am I back?
Yeah, you back now. Now you gone again.
Just give it a second. I'm gonna point.
All right.
I'm gonna be able to get better service. Give me 1 second.
All right. Yeah, I don't even. So I really feel like I feel like, like, there's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge you can get from books. Wisdom you get from people. Wisdom you get from experiences. It's certain things that you're gonna learn through going through it, and there's certain things that you can learn from reading, right?
Right.
I consider you get older, you get wise, you get wiser, right? And I really feel like a lot of millennials don't respect wisdom; they only respect knowledge. Now there's a saying. There are those learning does not make one learned, right? There are those who have knowledge and those who have understanding. The first requires memory. The second, philosophy. So I approach everything with my philosophy, right? Because that's what I was raised on. Like I said, KRS-One, my philosophy. So a philosophy is something you develop on your own through knowledge, right? And through experiences. Knowledge is just something or a fact, like that's so I think what the millennials miss out on is the understanding and the developing of their own philosophy or how they see things, because they adopt how other people see it. Everybody's following somebody, right? And when I came home,
let me ask you this one question. Do you think that things let's just start in the 60s to now, which would be 65 years, right? Okay. Do you think things are the same? You don't
What do you
believe that,
break it
right?
down? Break it down. What do you mean?
Okay. What I mean is, okay, I can give you an example that you can understand in our field, right? And you
Okay.
can take our field and branch it off into real life. Okay, like in our field in real estate, right?
Okay.
The laws in real estate change, FOA qualifications change, credit scores change about what you can be approved for. All different things change. So
Yeah.
if you still believe, which a lot of people believe now, that like prior to the 2000, let's say 2008, 2010, if you still believe prior to then that it was hard to own a home, right? You would still be stuck in that mind frame that it's hard to own a home. And I can speak from experience because that's what I thought. But when I called the lender and the lender told me all I needed was 2 years of tax returns and a credit score and a down payment, I'm like, well, shit, it ain't what I thought. So what I'm saying in the bigger picture is, versus what you're saying about us between knowledge and wisdom, is knowledge is a thing that you have to keep acquiring to keep growing and keep staying ahead and to stay on track. Now, wisdom is a good thing, but if you just take wisdom and hold on to it and don't mix it with knowledge, then you're gonna be stuck with old beliefs that ain't true no more.
Knowledge becomes wisdom when you share it. So all wisdom is the sharing of knowledge that you've learned, the things that you've learned. But I learn things. I'm an
You got to
autodidact.
get updated knowledge to turn it into wisdom, right?
Listen,
You gotta
you
have
can learn.
updated knowledge.
You can learn on your own. I update all my knowledge. Listen, it ain't too many people you're gonna find sharper than me. All right, I got a 135
That's
IQ.
why I'm having a debate with you. You understand what I'm saying? Because I know you ain't no off
Yeah,
the
what
wall. You know what
I
I
don't
mean?
mind growing. I don't mind growing in knowledge. I will grow in knowledge. I'm not saying all people do, right? Some people kind of stuck in their ways and they stay where they at, right? Nah, what I learned of that dude, Charlie Kirk, like I said, like I don't agree with probably 85 or 90% of what some of the stuff he said he was cool on, right? But it shouldn't be coming from him. You feel what I'm
Why
saying?
not?
And
Why
because
not?
he's
Why
not a
can't?
part of our community, right? So I
Hold
can't
on.
go.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you what. I can't go onto a reservation and tell Native Americans, like, look, y'all need to stop doing this. Y'all need, you know what I'm saying? The reason you doing, look, y'all got a drinking problem. Well, who brought the liquor? Everybody know natives have a genetic something genetic in their DNA. They don't handle alcohol well, right? That I don't know if you're familiar with that, but that's a scientific fact. It's a DNA thing with Native Americans. Something about alcohol, which is why you have the highest rate of alcoholism on their what they call them reservations, right? They drink like a lot, right? But who brought them alcohol? Who introduced them to alcohol? Right? So a friend, like a young man I know, came home from prison, and everybody that came to see him brought him a bottle of alcohol. And I'm like, why everybody bringing him drink? I didn't know him before he went in, but everybody came and they were bringing him alcohol. I didn't know he used to be an alcoholic. And what they did was they brought him what he used to be and put him right back in the position he was in. He an alcoholic again, right? So if you know that Native Americans don't handle alcohol well, why are you bringing alcohol to them? Because you want to put them in a position or state. Now
Okay,
with
that's
us,
not what he's doing.
now
That's
with us,
not what he's doing. Okay. And so let me get the full right quick.
okay,
He's
okay,
not saying, hey, I know rap music is killing these children and polluting their minds. Let me create a rap song and bring it to them. He's doing the exact opposite. He's saying, hey, this is what you guys have a problem with. And if you take that out, then maybe, things will be better for you. So don't believe this, and it's cool, you know what I'm saying? But it should be okay for anybody, a white man, a Mexican man, an Italian man, to be able to come to me and say, hey, young brother, you're doing that wrong. If you do it this way, you're going to get a better result. That's the thing about me, right? I'm not
You're right.
biased.
You're
I'm
right.
not biased. Okay,
You're right.
I'm not biased of where the information comes from.
No,
Some people
you're
are
right.
biased about where the information comes from. And
Have you
that's
ever
why
heard?
I believe,
Yeah, nah.
I believe, hold on, let me finish. That's why I believe it puts me on a different mind frame, because some people can only learn from some people, right? I don't feel like that. I can learn from anybody that has the right information.
Likewise. I can learn from anybody. I don't care who it is, right?
That's why it's good we having this debate.
Sometimes it's not what you say. All right, so let me break it down. Sometimes it's not what you say, but how you say it. It's sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So it's his presentation. It's his presentation.
Yeah. Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, right? Now, if somebody is bringing you great information, right, but you don't like the way he's giving it to you, right, and you don't get it, who's losing in the situation?
Okay, he's not giving it to us. He's giving it to other white people. He doesn't
No,
go.
he's talking about us. He's talking about us.
Listen.
We're talking about what he's saying about us.
Listen to what you said. Listen to what you said. He's talking about us, not to us. He goes to. Hold up.
He talks to black people. Black people come up there and ask him these questions.
Where was he at, Steve? When he got killed, where was he at?
He was at a college university.
What college?
He goes to all of them.
I'm not asking you that. No, he doesn't. He was at Utah. Hold up. He was at the He was at Utah. In Utah. 1.7% white people live in Utah. So how was he talking to us? So what he's doing now, hold up. No.
I'm about to click on you.
Everywhere he goes, listen to what this is what he does. He goes to white people and talks negatively about us to white people. He hasn't gone to a single HBCU. That's where we at. He never been to no hood. He goes to white people and talks negatively about black people. Okay, a few black faces show up. A few black faces show up and try to confront him.
Okay, let me patch in on that, and you tell me what you think about this. I agree. Let me say I agree.
He's not giving it to us, Kendrick Fulton Sr. See, look, Kendrick is another one like you. That's my man, but he's like you. Now I'm reading the statement, man. Hold
on. Let's stop before you read that statement. Let's get to this right here, where he's presenting this information in, because this is a big deal, and I understand where you're coming from, but let's look.
Oh no, my brother was on my line. He was on my side. My bad, Kendrick. My bad. Let's flip this on the flip side, right? Let's flip this on the flip side. Okay. Yeah. For one, right? You have seen 2%. I'm bringing you on.
You have seen 2% of his total interviews. Can we make that fact?
It's more than 2%, yo.
You think you've seen more than 10% in the last 2 days since he died?
How much he got? I don't know what he got out there.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so he started. When he started, he didn't start at these big. He didn't just blow up and start at these big colleges where people come out. That's because of his growth. He had grown to get there, right? So before, if you go look at some of his interviews, he's on the streets of New York. Black people walking up and they asking him questions. He talked about it. He didn't always give these big things in these big places. Now he's giving these big places because he's somebody. Just on some fact, like a rapper. First you rap in these little shitholes, and now you selling out concerts. He grew up to where he's selling out concerts now. So before he got to selling out concerts, you can go back to his rhetoric then, which he's preaching the same thing on the sides of the street and shit and stuff like that. So, but on the flip side, I understand you saying like, why haven't I seen him at a HBCU? And for me, well, my answer would be about that, right? Which goes back to what you said. If people are not going to accept him telling them about him, he can't go to A&T, right? He can't go to
Exactly.
A&T.
Exactly.
Okay, he can't go to A&T and say, hey, black problem, this is your problem. He's not going to be safe.
Exactly. Exactly my
Okay,
point.
that goes back to everything that's my point, right? That goes back to everything that's my point. And
So
that's the
how he
problem
talking to us?
I'm gonna tell you how. That's the problem with our people, right? If me and you don't go
I
to the
I sent it to your messenger, Kendrick.
if me and you don't go to the HBCUs, and it's not somebody of color telling these things, then they can't perceive it from somebody else, right? But the whole thing about life, this is the whole thing about life, right?
Yeah.
Wherever information comes, when it falls into your lap, you got the opportunity to listen, process it,
okay.
listen to it,
Okay.
process it, and say, hey, is this good information or bad? And I think just because on the fact that we have been through slavery and we have all these things that have oppressed us as black people, when somebody that's different than our color can tell us something about ourselves, it becomes more emotional than it being logical. That's our whole downfall to me as a community.
Okay.
Instead of being emotional about something, right? Be logical about it. And that's why I feel like I am with it. You know what I mean? Like, yes, he said a whole lot of stuff that's hurtful stuff to black people. Don't get me wrong. He has. And black people ain't gonna be able to take it. And I recognize and I understand that, specifically what you've been saying. But us as a culture and as black people, we have to know that, hey, you got to sit down, not get emotional, think about it, and really process it in a logical way and not an emotional way. If you process it in a more of a logical way, right, then you can get a benefit out of it. But if you're all emotional about it, then you can't get a benefit out of it. Like, black people can't have these intelligent debates and conversations without them niggas fighting and shooting. You see what I'm saying? It's emotional. It's emotional, right? Let's keep it real. You don't see. I ain't saying it's a 0% chance, but it's a way lopsided if you see two people in any other culture. I ain't even gonna say just the white culture or the Mexican culture or the Italian culture, any other culture. When they have these debates, it don't result in the violence. They can sit down.
No, you tripping. You tripping. I don't know if you. So I've watched Russian when they fought. You know what I'm saying? Like Russian politicians have fought, right?
I ain't saying it don't. That's what I'm saying. This is. I'm gonna say this. This is a thing that I have told my people, and this is how I feel. Okay, just like for say on the news, right? If you see something happen to one person, you can't make that your whole philosophy.
Look, I'm about to bring somebody else on. I'm about to bring my brother Kendrick Fulton in. He was dying to get in here, so I gotta let him in. But go ahead and finish cooking.
Let him get in. We're gonna let him cook. Let me finish cooking right
all
quick.
Right, okay.
Patch you in, my brother. Peace. Okay. Our people, I believe, which I know for a fact, once we see something happen one time, right? One time. If it happens one time, right, we'll take that into our consciousness and believe it's happening all the time. So yeah, like on the you might see that happen with a Russian or a black guy or Mexican. Yeah, I ain't gonna say it don't happen, but I'm saying for as the percentages wise, how it goes is us black people are going to get in more confrontational because we get more emotional on these topics instead of just sit back and being logical about it.
All right. So look, before I let you go, somebody just said it's people like chiming in, and somebody said, Carlos, can black people access his videos on YouTube? And this is IG. I don't know who this is on Instagram. I mean on YouTube.
Tell them to go to TikTok.
No. Hold up.
YouTube is gray hair niggas.
No, they were talking about the dude, and they said yes, they can. But do black people want to hear his message? No. So I don't know who IG is. That's what they said, right? And then somebody else said the universities also have to allow him on the campus. So did they invite him? Absolutely not. They're not going to invite him because he's spewing negative rhetoric, right? They don't want someone like that. But you know what? But
it's not negative rhetoric. It's called truthful hurt. It's two different things.
That's how you interpret it. That's your truth. That's your truth. Okay.
We both said that. If the black man are not in the home and not taking care of his kids, that ain't negative. That's truthful hurt. Nigga, step up, stop going to the club, sell that dumbass car you got, and go take care of your damn kids.
Carlos, can I jump in?
Go ahead, Cook. Kendrick.
Hey, listen, man. I know it's a lot of stuff about Charlie Kirk. You can go to his IG. Everything we talked about, racism, being a Christian nationalist, he didn't address that. You know, he talking about I'm racist.
You said everything he talks about is that?
Everything he been accused of, he discussed it. Everything you call him a racist, you call him this. He said, I'm a racist, but why we do this? Why we do this for black kids in Chicago? Why we do this for black kids in Philadelphia? Why this for black kids in Atlanta? I'm a racist. Man, listen, I did 20 years in federal prison, y'all. I left in 2003. I came home in 20. You know what I mean? I finished in 23. People are so sensitive, man. I don't know what happened to y'all. You know, when I left the street, y'all want to change the name of schools. This school is named after this. I grew up with these schools with these names. I ain't got no problem. What's the problem now? Y'all too sensitive. I was in prison with bank robbers, gang members. I don't know about no GDs, no vice lords. I'm from Texas. That gang stuff ain't down here. It's down here now. But I used to see dudes that was gang members and this, bank robbers. And I tell them, man, you finna go to the streets, man. You ain't finna do nothing, man. You come back to jail. I had 33 years. Them dudes would be sensitive. Man, you just went in the bank and laid the whole bank down. And you sitting there talking about, and I done told you ain't finna do nothing, you and your feelings. So I can just imagine what somebody never been in no trouble gonna think. One of them good model people ain't never been in prison, ain't never been in trouble. So yeah, man, the man just tells some good now. And full disclosure, I'm a Bible believing Christian. The brother's a Christian, and the truth hurts, brother. People, when you tell people the truth, come on, man. You tell somebody the truth, huh?
I don't know if there's a difference between being a Christian and being a Christian nationalist.
Hey, well listen, hey, brother, listen. Everything. Listen, a young brother went to the mic. He said, "Man, I'm a Christian. I think that you're doing the body a disservice by being a Christian nationalist." He said, "I'm not a Christian nationalist. It's on his page, brother. I can send it to you." He
said he's not a Christian nationalist.
He said he's not a Christian nationalist. Yes, sir.
So he just said, act like one.
Brother, no, that's what the media told y'all.
No. I don't watch. First of all, I don't watch the news.
I got you.
I don't watch
where the news. We at with you.
I don't even know what a Christian nationalist is.
I'm gonna break it down. First of all, please don't generalize me. I don't watch the news. I'm not like most people.
Well, right? You sound like him.
No, I'm not.
Sadly, you sound like CNN, MSNBC.
Never watched it. I don't watch it. I don't watch no news. I watch no news. So please don't make assumptions.
So where you get your definition of Christian nationalist from then?
From observations.
No, hold on. You don't just come up with a word. You don't just come up with a word out of the blue, brother. No, sir.
No, Christian. Where did I get the definition? It's other ways of learning. I don't have to watch the news to learn.
I'm asking where you get it from.
I don't know.
I first heard on the news. I've been in federal prison. These new terms, all this your truth, what you just used. Your truth, man, no such thing as your truth. That's the problem with the world today.
That's what he said.
When that man went to jail, back when you went to jail, it wasn't no motherfucking faggots out here getting
man, yeah, your truth. The Bible. Listen, Carlos.
I'm also a communicator. Carlos. So instead of saying a lie, I'll just say that's your truth. All right,
no, listen, Carlos. Listen, no, that is your truth. Listen,
I can say you lying or you wrong.
Listen. Your truth, Carlos, you can say, man, I'm a female and I got a blonde wig on. I'm like, Carlos, I ain't gonna say that's your truth. Carlos, you out your mind, man. You ain't got no blonde wig on, Carlos. You bald headed. I'm looking at you.
You know what?
I see you. And you tell me you got a wig. I'm like, Carlos, I see your head. You ain't got no wig on, brother. Well, that's your truth. I'm like, man, I'm looking at you.
Let a young brother tap in, and I want y'all to tell me what y'all think about this, right? And this happens a lot in our community, and we all gonna be able to relate to this. Okay, everybody reads the scripture, right? I ain't gonna say everybody, but people that read the scripture. You know, we all experience it. People read the scripture, and they say they get two different interpretations from the same thing, right? Okay, that's not possible. You can't do that. It's not possible to get two different interpretations from the same thing. It's only said in one way. So either you interpreting it the wrong way or the right way. It ain't no in between where you get two different interpretations out of one thing. It only meant one thing when it was said. So that's a lot of things that people got to understand, that that's not even a real thing. It's not your truth or my truth. It's one truth. It ain't left or right or in between. You can't ride down this road on the yellow line. Either you going that way or you going that way. You can't do it don't work like that. And a lot of people are so emotional and mixed up in the mind to where even in scripture they think they can read a scripture and they think it's okay to have two different interpretations from the same thing. That ain't even real.
Do you know what a schism is? Do you know what a schism is?
A schism or a schism? Which one?
However you want to pronounce it.
A schism, like some kind of difficult, like it's going through like some kind of a schism, like you going like some kind of opposition, I guess. I don't know, schism.
Yeah, okay, you're right. A schism is a division in religion, and it comes from two different interpretations, right? So
but you can't that's impossible.
Stephen, listen,
that's
man. Hold up. You're 37, man. You got a lot of living that you haven't done that I've already completed. One of those things is I read the dictionary like it was a Bible. I read the dictionary daily, man. So there is a word called a schism. The definition for the schism is when two different individuals or groups in one religion have a difference of opinion or a difference of interpretation. A difference of interpretation. You can look it up. Now look it up. So because they have a difference of look, hold up. Because they have a difference of interpretation, they see things different. This person says this is the truth. The other person says this is the truth, and they go in their different ways and they create different religion. Well, what is it called when you got what is it called? You got different a lot of different Christianity. What are they different?
Carlos.
Hold on. Let me cook. What's the different things called? Denominations. Yeah. You know how many different denominations there are in Christianity?
Can I just say this?
I ain't finished. I'm asking.
Okay, let me know when you finish. Let me know when you finish.
I'm asking a question. See, you listening to answer, but you ain't listening to learn. There are different denominations.
No, you covered a lot of topics. I want to go back. Right, you down the road. That's all I'm saying.
I'm trying to get the one. I'm trying to complete, because he said there's no such thing as two different interpretations. And
no such thing. Not at all.
Okay.
And I'm gonna show you why.
Hold up.
Let him finish.
I'm asking a question. Will you just answer the question? Are there different denominations in Christianity?
Yes.
You asking me that?
Yes, I am.
Okay, yeah. You have Baptists.
Okay, that's Baptists, a lot. Right? You ain't gonna be able to name all of them. It's a lot.
I know. I'm gonna give you an example of Baptists.
So okay,
and if you know Baptist history, it used to be Anabaptist.
Hold on.
Can I finish? Let me finish. Let me finish.
I just asked you were there different denominations in Christianity. That's it, man. That's all.
But what's your point?
Yes.
I'm going to tell you what a Baptist is.
I don't need to know what a Baptist is. I want to know are there different denominations.
Definitions of whatever everything is.
Man, can we just answer the question? I just asked you what the different denominations of Christianity.
Yeah, you got Baptist and Pentecostal. What's your point?
No, it's more than that, homie.
I'm just giving you two. We're just going to give you two.
Okay, all right. Well, it's a whole lot. It's a lot of.
I got you. What's your point?
So these different denominations came through schisms in their beliefs, right? So one belief, and let's say Muslims, right? You got Sunnis and Shiites. It's not that many different types of Muslims. The Sunnis and the Shiites divided because they believe something different dealing with Muhammad, right?
Right.
So because of that, these people believe this way. These people believe this way. They both think they're right. They both think that they're living on the truth,
but only one
right?
can be right.
Okay, but who's to say who is?
Now can I talk?
It's the same thing.
Now can I talk? Can I get on the mic?
Same thing with Christianity.
Can I get on the mic?
Yeah.
Listen, one thing that you're gonna be united about in Christianity is that Jesus Christ's death, burial, and resurrection. I don't care if you Catholic, I don't care if you Pentecostal, I don't care if you Methodist, I don't care if you Church of Christ. But if you wrong on Jesus Christ's birth, death, and resurrection, you're not no Christian. First, that's it. That's all I gotta say. Now you might want a Baptist might want a Church of Christ don't want to have no music. Some Pentecostal want to have music. Okay, that's the minors. But the majors, birth, death, The resurrection. That's all I say.
Right.
And then hold on. Let me go back one more thing.
I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Christian, so I ain't here to debate Christianity.
I know. I got you. I'm showing you. But they got different things. But they just church Christ had on music. I mean, okay.
Right.
Then now one thing. The Bible means one thing.
See, you
I
going
agree with
into
the brother.
Christianity. We're not getting into religion.
I know. Hold on. I'm just saying. I just want to say one thing, brother. But you got many applications.
Religion, homie.
You got many applications, not interpretation. Application. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay, so 7-Day Adventists. You heard of them?
Yeah, 7-Day Adventists. Yeah.
All right. They worship on what day? They believe.
Yeah, but to me,
that ain't. I'm just saying. I just wanted to talk about facts. 7-Day Adventists worship on. They observe the Sabbath as the Saturday,
right.
And everybody else observes it as Sunday, right? So that's because they interpreted the Bible to when they talk about the Sabbath day, right? The 7-Day Adventists, their interpretation of the Bible says that the Sabbath is on Saturday. All right, so that's an.
You gonna let me talk?
Okay, yeah.
Yes, they do on Sabbath. And what the 7-Day Adventists is, they worship the law. They under the law. And in Christianity, you under law of grace. You're not under both. So by them trying to keep the law, they're gonna have a problem because no man can keep the law, Carlos. So they got a problem.
We need to pass this back.
They got a problem, but that's all I'm saying.
You church, right? Man. You going to church, Kendrick?
No, I'm just telling you. But
let's get out of there. But
I'm just telling you what it is, because you got to miss. You know what I mean?
I want to ask this: do all us brothers believe this? Because this disturbs me, and this is a part of the world. Is there multiple right ways of religion, or is it?
No, get away from religion, man.
No. It goes back to what I'm saying.
Okay, all right, okay.
I'm gonna fill all this in to go back to get us back.
All right.
So what we started as is interpretation, right? And that's why we got to religion, because I used it as an example.
Okay,
right?
all right.
Okay, so just because you interpret something the way you interpreted it, right, does not mean it's correct. The only thing that is correct is what it was exactly saying. So if you don't get to what it's exactly saying, you could possibly be going the wrong way and don't even know it.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's all I was saying. Back to Kirk, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might have an interpretation of what he's saying, right? But you don't. But just because you have an interpretation, you might. It's a possibility, right, that you might be wrong.
So do you think people? So do you think that a lot of people just misinterpreted him?
I think this is what I think. I think a lot of people that's talking about him right now wasn't listening to him 6 months ago. They wasn't listening to him 12 months ago. They just popped up a few days ago, and this is how the media works. All the media, they put in front of us the most negative part of anything that they can get. That's what the news is about.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
It's never the positive thing. So within these last days that this man has died, they try to clip and cut and put all the negative things in front of you to make you feel this way about this man. But people who've been following this man prior to his death and listened to him prior to his death, before he became to filling out concerts, right, to big events, to doing small events, we know more about what he's saying. So that's why I challenge you is not to spend 2 days on and give your opinion on a man that you only, if you only study Martin Luther King and Malcolm X for 2 days and listen to the shit they gotta say, you wouldn't have a clear opinion on it, right? But you gotta study his whole history like you did with the prior people, right? Because in a sense, he does relate to them because he started a movement of people thinking different about what's going on. Somebody has to do it. It don't matter if it's a white man, a black man, or this and that. It just happened to be a young white kid that was not afraid to say hurtful truth to people. And we take it as emotionally when he's only saying things that could be beneficial to us if we listen. Going back to like
can I ask y'all a question? Can I ask y'all a question?
Go ahead.
I mean, when did everything become racist out here? Everything is racist.
I mean,
I ain't been in the culture. Everything is racist.
When wasn't it? When did it stop?
But everything is racist.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
when did it stop, man? You
But I'm
live in
saying though,
Texas,
but
homie.
it's like
You live in
overkill now.
Texas. You live in Texas. It's how can you not see racism in Texas? When I was in Texas in Beaumont, they drug a black dude to death. Some white boys in, I think it was Galveston, one of them little towns down there. They drug a dude from the back of a truck.
Well, you know what some black dudes gonna do to some? You know what some black dudes gonna do to some black dudes tonight in Chicago?
That ain't got nothing to do with it.
You know what they're gonna do tonight?
Now that,
you know what they're gonna do tomorrow?
And you know what they're gonna do? You know the difference. Right? You know the difference is it ain't gonna be race motivated. It's hood motivated. Them white boys drug that nigga to death in Texas. Why? Because he was black. If it happened in Chicago, it ain't because it's black. It just so happened that all the black people live in one area.
Hey, let me tell y'all this. I was in Leavenworth Penitentiary, right? Yeah. And I used to watch the Kansas City news. And I used to see all them Kansas City dudes killing babies, shooting the baby, shooting people. I'm like, dang, man, y'all be killing people like that. And what's the name? How you got a pistol case? How the police catch you with the pistol? You can't believe. I know you not in with no gun charge. You got caught with your pistol, and the way y'all kill black people.
But that's what kind of dudes? That's
but
everywhere.
Listen, but y'all scared. Y'all scared to do it to white people, I guess.
No,
but y'all are doing it to us.
You made a point, and then you went to another point. But when I dispel what you just said about these dudes,
yeah, but you said he did it to a black man. But what do we do to black men?
But what do white people do to white people?
Hey, look, what do people do to people?
I mean, no. People kill who they're around.
But yeah, man. Like I see, everything racist, man. Like a dude don't get a job, it's because he racist. Dude don't. I'm like, man, maybe it just wouldn't mean you had a job.
I got every job I applied for.
No, I'm saying like some people don't get a job. They racist. They hire because I'm like, dang, everything racist. Once you make your own job, once you create your own lane.
Sometimes it's a scapegoat. Now listen, you looking at 3 people on this live right now who work for themselves.
Yep.
So we ain't got to worry about that.
And I did 20 years in federal prison.
I did 17.
You see what I'm saying? You know? So listen, you're not gonna get. Listen, you not. Hey, Carlos, you all that excuse, that victim mentality. I'm the wrong one.
Me too.
You can miss me with all that. The white man this, the white man that. People don't like Trump, right? People say Trump a racist. I say, man, I was in federal prison under George Bush, Obama twice, Trump, and Biden.
And none of them let you out.
You know who did the most? You know who did the most for black people?
Trump.
Republicans.
Yeah.
Listen, man, in 2008, George Bush passed that Amendment 706 to the crack. I'm like, George Bush stopped building federal prisons.
But the Republicans also created the problems.
Obama come in and open up 20 prisons. I was like, wait a minute. I've been lied to.
He was a Tom. That's what.
Come on, man. I've been lied to.
Yeah. It got worse with him. Yeah, but look, I done been on here an hour and 12 minutes, man. I appreciate y'all for coming on. We got a lot. It was a lot of people watching. A lot of people. So y'all can go follow Steven on you on TikTok, right, Steve?
Charlie Kirk, IG, man. Go to IG. You can see all this stuff. Go to his IG. Every topic, y'all. Instagram.
All right, okay.
Go to Charlie Kirk Instagram and just scroll. Everything y'all call him a racist, a fascist, a nationalist. People done went to the mic and told him this. You say I'm this, and he explains it. Don't listen to this clip. Learn if you want to learn, but if you don't want the truth, don't go look.
I'm gonna go look. I'm gonna go look. Y'all told me look. I'm going to look.
Yes, sir.
All right, Jumper.
I appreciate you, boss.
No doubt, homie. Peace.
All right.